Right. So before I will start my talk, I will say a little bit about why I think it is important to talk about art in this time or in any time. To me, art is an extremely important part of life, and to be an artist means to me to take responsibility. To be an artist means to take responsibility. And responsibility about what? Well, about life, about humanity, about society, about global world society, about how we organize things and about how we understand things. Which means that art, to me, is of course also philosophy and science. It is scientific research and philosophy, and it is a deeply rooted sense of responsibility for society itself. 90% of artists don't know anything about this, and they work in a completely selfish way, to say it like that. And if it was that they're just living in their own bubble and that they're only communicating with the art world in which they identify with, then everything would be fine. That's okay, I don't mind that. Art for art's sake is okay, no problem. And artists who only take responsibility for being an artist within a certain discourse or within a certain field of art, that's fine, no problem. If they are educated, if they have education. But basically they don't have that, even if they have PhDs, even if they are doctors in art or in philosophy, because what is education? Education means to be enlightened. What is it to be enlightened? It means to understand the human program. It means to understand how we as human beings work and operate, behave and perceive and experience within the human program. This is what education is, and this is also what enlightenment is. This is what education is. Education means to understand yourself. Education means to understand the mind. Education means to understand the brain. Education means to understand how your interpretation machine works and why it works in the way that it works. This is education. Education is for you to understand why your interpretation machine works in the way that it does. When you understand that, then you are an educated person. Not many people are educated. Not many professors are educated. Not many school teachers are educated. Not many artists are educated. So this is also what I mean about taking responsibility. The world doesn't want education because people are ignorant and stupid. Artists are selfish, ignorant and stupid, just as other people are. This is no talk in praise of artists, because artists are sometimes the most useless, helpless that you can ever imagine, because they are not educated, they are selfish, they are opportunistic, they are parasites on that which is art, they are parasites on those who are at the cutting edge, they are parasites on extremely talented people, and that's how they get a name, because they are clever to be parasites. Whether they are professors or PhD people or just normal artists who tries to survive in the art world. So what I'm talking about is something completely different, something much higher, something noble. You know, the noble thing for an artist is to be noble. You know, there is no nobility in art anymore. Nobility means to be noble. And what is it to be noble? It means to take responsibility for the human heart. How do we take responsibility for the human heart? Well, we educate ourselves. We help the world to get education. We teach the world, we teach humanity about the human program. When we are educated about the human program, that's when we should start to create art. That's when the aesthetic organization of this world truly begins. We cannot truly have an aesthetic organization, a successful, high-level, intelligent, aesthetic organization of this world without understanding the human program. This is why brain science is so important in art. ignorant, arrogant, idiot artists don't know this, you know? They absolutely don't know this. They think that art is a painting, or that art is a photograph, or that art is a performance, piece of performance art, you know? It's rubbish. It's nothing. Wake up and grow up, you little twat. That's what I tell these artists who are so ignorant and so arrogant that they cannot see further than their own noses. They cannot see further than the camaraderie in which they belong, to which they belong. Because the art world is full of camaraderie and opportunism and cowardice and you scratch my back, I scratch yours, right? So this is not responsibility. Responsibility means to take responsibility for that which is necessary to feel responsible for. We have an obligation for truth. We have an obligation for that which is the improvement of this world. We have an obligation for improving humanity. The future work of art is humanity itself, because art should be society. Society should be art. The true work of art is humanity itself, because humanity should be art. Art should be humanity. This is how it is. So we have to put science and philosophy and true art into art life again. This is very important, and this is what I see as responsibility. This is the responsibility of the artist, you could say, as Jean-Paul Sartre talked about the responsibility of the intellectual. What is the nature of the intellectual? What is his responsibility? What is the field in which an intellectual should engage, you know, from a true and honest heart, from a willingness and eagerness to develop a higher degree of enlightened discourse, a higher degree of a true understanding of a certain intellectual field. For what? Well, to give more clarity to society, because that's what we need. We need clarity in society. We need to educate the people who lead the society, because of course they are, as other people, they don't have much education. They're practically stupid and ignorant as many other people, but we have been trained to respect people in position, so we don't know this. But we have to give education to this world. And when the academic world, when academia does not take true responsibility for educating people, because they don't even know what the human program is. You can talk to any professor and they don't even know how a true curriculum should look, you know, because they don't take responsibility for true education of students, you know. Never mind, but you understand my point. Taking responsibility for true education. That's what masters do. That's what true teachers do. And true teachers has to take responsibility so that this world can wake up from the arrogance and the ignorance that it is lost in. We see this every day, how lost humanity is, how lost people are in their blind beliefs in concepts. The concept has collapsed long time ago because the narrative has collapsed, because the language game has collapsed, because we have knowledge now about the language game, because I have explained it. I have analyzed discourse. I have analyzed narratives. I have analyzed a language game. And I have even analyzed and exposed and conveyed the truth of the human program and of the interpretation machine and of the projection machine. So the knowledge is here, but we just have to take responsibility for it and get it out into society. And we just have to hope and pray that the regimes or the hidden regimes behind the regimes are clever enough and grown up enough to see that true education is something that we simply have to accept, and not only accept, but we have to embrace it, and we have to set it as a primary value for our life in society at large. You know, true education is the highest value, Because with true education, you can get rid of a lot of sickness, you can get rid of a lot of disease, you can get rid of a lot of disorders, you can get rid of a lot of problems in society. So help me and help other people who would like to take responsibility for this endeavor. Let's be honest and clear about the fact that we need a better world than what we currently have, and the only way to get a better world than what we currently have is through true education. And the art world in today's world is not good enough. It's a perpetual parasite, that's only interested in fame and fortune, only money. The art world today is about money and names, it's about name dropping and money. It's just a business like everyone else. It's like a stock exchange. The art world today is like a stock exchange, really. So, and okay, never mind if someone wants to play with that, but there must be or should be something much deeper in addition to that. There should be something much deeper in addition to that. And because we have to take responsibility for making and creating a good humanity, we all have to accept the pleasure of taking responsibility for the future of mankind. Thank you very much.